Well, today we have the Dell Inspiron 5559 here today. So this laptop is actually running really slow because it's got an old hard drive and plus the RAM usage is extremely high. So let's see how it boots up. All right, 3, 2, 1. It's literally been like 3 minutes. Alright, so now that this thing is finally on, the fix to do this is we're going to upgrade this to a solid state drive, and we'll also be giving it an upgrade from 8GB of RAM to 16GB of RAM. Alright, so the easy fix for this would be to clone the drive. So to do the drive, you have to buy one of these little SATA cables. So now let's quickly connect her up. Alright, so to simply connect her up, just plug in the USB right here. So plug in there and plug in your solid state drive right there. Now that the computer should at least recognize it. Alright, so now that it's finally recognized it right there, we're going to be using a free software called Macuum Reflect. So select the disk you want to clone to, and then press next. Just skip that. Now we're cloning. And it froze. Don't you just wanna... Alright, sorry for the wait. This actually took much longer than what I expected. It did it for about 6 hours, so yeah, sorry for the wait. So now it's the next day. SSD has all the files and everything. So now it's time for us to actually open it up. So first of all, let's flip over the laptop and make sure when you're working on these things to disable the battery, okay? Alright, battery out. Now we can start opening it up. You do that right now, it won't take too long. Alright, one screw out. Another screw out. And now to pry it open, just grab a flathead screwdriver, pry it open like so, like that. And then it should just come off fairly easy. So place that aside, and now right here is your hard drive, and then right here is your 2 RAM sticks. So I reckon the first thing we'll do is we'll try fire up the laptop with the SSD in. So first, let's take out the hard drive. Alright, all 4 screws are out. Now we can lift out our hard drive, and now we can disconnect it from the hard drive. And the cable's all disconnected, hard drive is out. So I reckon the first thing we'll do is we'll try fire up the laptop with the SSD in. I'm not going to bother taking the caddy off this yet. I just want to know this SSD works with the laptop right now. So we'll plug in the SSD like that. It'll just plug in right there. And then grab the battery, we'll place it back into the laptop, like that. Alright, now that everything, SSD is connected, battery connected, is all connected, let's just give the laptop a quick test, make sure everything works, and then we'll try swap the RAM. Alright, so let's see how fast this boots. And this thing does have 2 operating systems, by the way, so you'll see it come up with Windows 10 and 11. And already it's booting much quicker. Yep, see it comes up much quicker now. So we'll select Windows 10. Alright, let's let that boot quickly, it shouldn't take too long. Aha, it boots much quicker, much faster, and plus it is not even laggy at all anymore. So now that we know the laptop works with the SSD in, let's shut it down, and now we will swap the RAM out. Alright, so now that the laptop's fully off, before we forget, when you're working on these, always disable the battery so we don't get electrical sparks on us. Alright, now that the battery's disabled again, let's quickly take out our RAM. Alright, 8 gigs of RAM is out, and now let's put in 16 gigs of RAM. So let's just quickly put it in there like so, until you hear it click in like that. Same goes to the other side, clip it in like that, and then lock it in place like that. Alright, now we will put the battery back in, and then let's test it. Alright, RAM in, SSD in, untied yet, because that way if anything goes wrong, makes it easy. We can just take out the SSD. Battery connected, let's get the laptop as test. Alright, laptop turning on. Let's see if it'll pop up. And here we are. Now when it recognizes that it's got a different amount of RAM in it, it should come up with this. Just select continue, it won't be much of an issue, so do that quickly. And then it should just do a reboot of the machine. Alright, it is done. Now we'll quickly shut down the laptop. Just like that. And let's quickly tie the hard drive caddy onto the SSD, and then we'll tighten up the hard drive. Alright, so now that we know the laptop runs with 16 gigs of RAM, now we also know the SSD works, and we can tighten on the caddy from the hard drive, and we'll put it on the SSD, and then that way we won't have any loose connections. So to do that, just disconnect the SSD again. We'll reconnect it once the caddy's on there. Alright, so there will be 4 screws holding on the hard drive caddy. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we just need to take these 4 screws off. So alright, once all 4 screws are off, it should just lift off like that, and then hard drive is all out and free. So we'll place that aside, and now we'll grab the SSD, we'll put that in like so, make sure it all lines up with the holes, just like that, and then we'll put the screws back in now. Alright, so now the laptop's all reassembled and ready to go. We've got the timer back out again, so let's do a quick boot test. So 3, 2, 1. Alright, so now the laptop is all booted. It took less than 7 minutes, 11 seconds to boot up. It took rather 50 seconds to just boot up like that. So now we have a nice usable laptop again, so no lag at all. I can now open stuff without any lag as well. Yep, just like that. And then we now got everything working. So even apps are open much quicker now. Yep, there we go. Just like that. Nice and easy repair. Just a hard drive and a RAM replacement did the work, and now it runs the hell of a lot better. So we'll go into Task Manager and see how the SSD runs. Alright, so right now this is the SSD and this is 16 gigs of RAM. So it seems to be running much better and efficiently. And that is us done for today. I hope this video helps. If it did, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button. And in my next video for this laptop, we'll be getting this a new battery because, well, battery life is extremely poor. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can get this thing a new battery. And yeah, and then this will be a fully functional laptop again. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.